You've eaten Gotham's wealth, its spirit, but your feast is nearly over.
This isn't a blood hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon. Why aren't you laughing?
From this moment on, none of you are safe.
Welcome to the Batman Book Club, podcast exploring the Dark Knight Library. I am your host, Ryan Lauer. The Batman Book Club is a proud member of the Batman Podcast Network, hosted by Batman on Film. Just go to batmanonfilm.com, click on podcasts, and you'll find the Batman Podcast Network that has a whole list of other bat-related shows that also like to dive into other nerdy subjects that we all love to frolic about in our free time. More on the frolic here in a second. The Batman Book Club is also on Patreon. If you like what's going on with the show, you want to help support the show, keep the generators running in the Wayne Manor study, just go to patreon.com/thebatmanbc. Now, thank you for listening to episode 208, Batman in August. Another month has come to an end, which means it's another reunion of me and the number one frolicker in all of podcasting, the best Italian. It's Peter R. Verra. Hello, Peter.
Nobody frolics.
Peter is a
That's
frolicker,
right.
and he's
No.
frolicking at Shea Stadium just this weekend.
Technically, yes.
Technically,
I am
yes.
At Shea Stadium because I will be in the parking lot.
In
It
the
is
parking
a
lot.
parking lot.
There will be videos of Pete frolicking. Good for you. I think that's
tailgating. There'll be
I think
videos
that's
of
how
me
you're
tailgating.
supposed to be celebrating Labor Day. Just grilling outside,
yes,
sports,
grilling.
and everything. You know, Michigan plays this weekend, Pete. Have you jumped on
Michigan,
that train yet?
The
Wolverines.
Oh, not the Tigers?
The Michigan Tigers?
Well, the Tigers play in Michigan, don't they?
Detroit, yes.
Yeah, I thought that's where you're going. I didn't know you were talking about hand egg.
Oh no, I was talking about old Ann Arbor, the boys in Ann Arbor, and I thought that you would finally be on that
you can talk to
bandwagon.
Garrett about that. You can talk to Garrett about that. He knows about that. The whole like body armor, SWAT team running into each other thing. He loves that stuff.
Body.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
He's
I
all
thought
into
you were a
that.
big fan of football. You're a big
No.
Roll Tide fan, so I just figured.
Big Willie fan. Big Willie's different than everything else. I support Willie and I support Willie's love for the Tide. I may not be, outside of Trey Jackson, I don't root for Alabama, but a big Willie guy. Love Willie. I'll
Trey
root for
Jackson.
Alabama baseball. How's that?
Okay. You think Willie shows up to that?
Alabama. Willie shows up to everything. Alabama. He's obsessed.
He should.
He's
Yeah.
If you follow Willie on Instagram, you'll see him everywhere. He's fantastic.
Anybody who
He just got a
doesn't
brand new
know
house too. So congrats to Willie.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
Anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, Pete introduced me earlier this year to a man named Willie, and
I don't know his last
Alabama.
name.
Yeah, it's just Willie Works. Alabama Willie in YouTube, and
Just
you'll
don't
go
give
down a
piss
rabbit
about
hole.
nothing but the time. Roll that big Bama blitz.
I think Bill said the same thing of like he ended up on going down a rabbit hole about Willie as soon as you exposed us all to that, and he kept saying it, and I did the same thing. I think it was like a 45-50 minutes, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like I've just been watching everything of
Willie's
Willie.
good old drunk Willie. Oh, old Willie. He just don't give a piss about nothing but the tide.
That's right. But you know what? He's a vet, so good for him.
Yes.
This time, let this guy celebrate the Tide however he wants. Drunk. That's well.
Can you think of a better way to celebrate anything?
There you go. We'll celebrate about Batman comics in August, but Pete and I are both sober, so we won't be as
Unfortunately.
animated as old Willie. But I think we'll still
never
do
could be.
okay. Nobody
Never.
could be. Yeah, that's trying to get up to like Jordan status, and just
I'm going to try to be as
unreachable.
animated as Holzman right now.
All right. You've already surpassed. Well done, Pete. Let's talk about Batman comics released in August. Starting out the gate, as we know, this one comes with an asterisk next to it. Batman issue 151, because this is an Absolute Power tie-in. I wrote this. I wrote my review on Batman on Film for this, and I said, and I looked forward to talking to you about this because it's an Absolute Power tie-in. So I'm not reading Absolute Power.
So you're not putting in
Peter
the
R.
work.
Verra is. So this was written by Chip Zdarsky because he's still on Batman. with art
Yeah.
by Mike Hawthorne. Um, Out the gate from my first, like my review of this, not reading Absolute Power. This was a bit of a Batman Catwoman heist in a jungle.
Mhm.
And I think Zdarsky does a good job with the relationship of Batman and Catwoman, as I've enjoyed what he's done with them while he's been on Batman. You know, the Gotham War. You and I were both fans of that
Mhm.
mini event. And there's some, there's some fun moments, and Hawthorne has some cool stuff to draw. But outside of that, I don't have much with this. I was kind of a little like, eh. So, someone who is strictly Batman would not, I don't feel will get much out of this issue and would maybe find it a waste of money. However, people reading Absolute Power, such as yourself, Pete, how'd you find this issue?
I really liked it. I thought it was
Okay.
great. I thought it hit all the notes. And I like the backup story too with Harley. Um, really dig what Zdarsky was doing with Batman and Selina, or
Hmm.
Batman Catwoman. That was cool. I thought he tied the book into Absolute Power pretty effortlessly.
Okay.
I enjoyed the ending. I'm very interested. Absolute Power is just pretty insane, to be honest with you. Like it's it's a pure comic book event, but it's so it just feels almost old school in a way because it's absurd, but yet absolutely brilliant in in a sense.
All
Like
right.
it's Wade just being Wade. So like, and all the tie-ins have really been hitting too. So, if you've been diving deep into Absolute Power, more power to you because it's been impressive, and I'm enjoying it just as much as you are. But yeah, this is so much better than Failsafe, which is crazy because Failsafe within itself is really good at Absolute Power. It was just getting there
Wow, what the
just
hell?
sucked. Yeah, like I like Failsafe in Absolute Power and what he's doing and what that character is meant to do. I thought creating him kind of sucked, which is weird, but I get, to say out loud, but yeah. No, I really enjoyed Batman 151.
So, and I'm not just saying this. When it's all said and done and collected, maybe I'll give it a shot then. Right now, it's too soon to fail safe and stuff. And bleh, with that,
Sure.
you come
That's how you feel.
highly like you'll tell me things of like, Lowry, you should read this. And you don't say that about stuff that just ends up being okay. Usually when you do that, then I pay attention because then I do read it. And most of the time I'm like, yeah, that was pretty good. My
Yeah.
favorite thing you've ever done that for me for was Justice League Endless Winter.
Yeah, everyone was
Um,
that was mostly just to shove it to Kowalski because he's been he was just running his mouth about crazy stuff at that time. But
But
yeah,
that was really,
it
and
was
that
really
one was
good.
really good. And you were like, Lauer,
Yeah,
you need to read this because I think you'll really enjoy it. Actually, blah blah blah. So I'll I'll get there with Absolute Power if it maintains this level that you're putting it at.
I
I wanted to ask.
I
Go
mean
ahead.
I read issue 2, and
Hmm.
I've been reading Task Force, and that one's been coming out like weekly. And it hasn't lost a beat. Like it's really good. Even it's really good stuff. And the Task Force issues are almost in themselves kind of self-contained, to just events happening around Absolute Power. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like a one shot every week. And issue 4 was basically Failsafe versus the Robins and their crew, and then issue 5 was a Flash issue, and I thought they were really good. This is probably the best Flash book I've read in since whoever the new writer is, Spurrier, I think, before Spurrier. So
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't know. I give
Which
it
was
all high
Williamson, I
praise.
think, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Was
Williamson,
he? Yeah.
but then he left to do
What?
something else,
Oh,
and
okay.
I think it was Spurrier, and then yeah, because I started arguing with Paul Herman about this around that time. So that yeah, so I think it's a really good Flash issue. Not that this is Flash book club, but just Absolute Power in general has really kept up to momentum, which I'm really impressed at.
Good.
Mostly because tie-in issues usually suck, and these haven't.
So well, one, Batman has purple gloves in this.
He does.
Glad that wasn't a deal breaker for you. You looked past it. He gets shot towards towards the like halfway through the issue,
Hmm.
and it's a guy that says, "Been a while, Batman, since I dragged you through the streets of Gotham." And then the note is "See Batman number 89." That is so long ago. I have no clue, like no recollection or remembering this guy dragging through because that was way back Tynan beginning on Batman. And there's
Yeah,
a guy
I mean,
called
I
like
love
Deal,
editor's
not
notes. but I have to go
Not
back and read it myself.
not Deal Maker or anything. It was right before the Joker War.
Joker
But
War.
I just don't remember that. I only
Why
read it
don't you
once,
fill
but
time and I'll Google?
okay. No, I'm kidding. We don't have to. I was just curious. I didn't know if that was something that you were like, oh yeah, I remember this or not. We're talking,
Probably if I see
70
like the
issues ago,
cover.
but
If
okay.
if I see the cover, maybe we'll check it out. But keep going.
There we go. All right. So big thumbs up from Pete, a middle thumbs up from me. So no thumbs down on this month's issue of Batman. All right. All right, that was the first Tuesday or Wednesday. We're on Wednesdays now. We're back to comic book days on Wednesday. Another issue came out that day. The Batman and Scooby-Doo Mysteries #8. Pete, you didn't read this, correct?
Correctamundo.
Correctamundo. Written by Shally Fish with art by Erich. I still assume it's pronounced Eric. Apologies if it's not Eric.
Holzman.
Owen. This one was just okay. It was a little bit more of the same. A blending, though, of the Adventures of Batman style, aesthetic. There's they're in I think the Bill Finger Museum, and it's a bunch of really massive, oversized props are in the museum. So you've got the big typewriter, you got a huge pool table record player. So it kind of really leans into the 50s comics, Batman comics, as far as like overdoing it, props and stuff. Those play a huge factor, and there's a perception that there's a giant, but that's not all as it seems. And yeah, Mystery Inc. solves something. It's okay. Not my favorite of this book. By no means was it bad. It just wasn't as consistent as this title has been, which I've been one to say, like, this is pretty consistent. You know what you're getting, and it doesn't deviate from that path very much, but it's just not necessarily notable. There you go. Take it for what you will.
Would you think that this series has reached the point where it needs Scrappy to come in and save the day?
Not to save the day. That's a way that they can give it a boost of some sort, though. Or as in like to a shot in the arm of some sort. And I don't like Scrappy, but I think that's a way that they can start to do something different to keep it from just kind of blending together.
I think they need to start sprinkling in more pup name.
I was gonna say, or go back and do another issue of pup named Scooby-Doo, something like that, because that would be fun also.
And it better feature Red Herring.
There you go. Pup named Scooby-Doo with red hair.
Red Herring. It'd be impossible, right, to get a pup named Scooby-Doo with Scrappy. Yeah, it's not feasible.
He's not around.
Yeah. Maybe pup. I see. Then you can't even do pup named Scrappy-Doo. You have to do Old Man Scrappy. Oh, can you imagine Scooby's passed and Scrappy it takes over?
They could do pup named Scooby-Doo and do Scooby-Dum, his cousin.
Oh God, and I did did not like Scooby-Dum. I'd rather have old man Scrappy with, like, I don't know, his nephew Scoob.
It's comic books. They could do something like Scrappy goes back in the past to a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that'd be great. Herring. Yes,
Scrappy takes on
That's the
Red
multiverse
Herring.
I want. The Scooby-Dooverse.
Comics would be the thing that they could do it.
Dude, James Gunn could totally do this. He should drop his Booster Gold movie and do a Scoobyverse.
Yeah, Scoobyverse. Okay.
With Lillard. Bring back Lillard.
Yes. Yeah. Make him the voice.
You hit me with the sandwich, Dick.
My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. Definitely. Let's see, second Wednesday of the month. A couple more issues. 3 issues this week. Let's start with the first one. Death in the Family, Robin Lives, #2. Pete, take it away on this one.
This thing's so much fun. I don't know about you, but I'm having a blast with this. From the old paper to just the possibilities, to not really knowing what to expect. And it feels like that. Who's the artist in this book? Leonardi?
J.M. DeMatteis and Rick writing on the art. Rick Leonardi.
Man, Leonardi this feels like it just was published back then, right? I feel like it fits in line with what Batman looked like, what comic books look like. This is really good. Like I
I
kind of
agree.
like it's almost like a time capsule type comic book, you know? And a lot of that comes from the feel of the paper.
Hmm.
Smells like it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is good stuff, and I kind of dig Nightwing's outfit a little bit here. Usually, I don't like the old Elvis look, but I'm into it here. I'm really having fun with it. I wonder if they have other things like this. Like I know this is probably the most popular one, right? Because of Jason Todd and the 1-800 number. But like
Yeah.
they've got, I wonder if they have like other stories that never were really published for whatever reason. The only thing other thing I could think of would be that one uh um Killing Joke inspired cover that they for Batgirl they never released.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing feel like compares them a little bit, even though they're totally different. But outside of that, like I don't know what else they have in the vault that they've never released.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think this is I didn't I I had the skepticism when this was announced of like, okay, is this almost like a little gimmicky? What if he would have lived, sort of deal. And it's like, well,
You don't like
he
What If?
he does live. Like he's Red Hood. We've been dealing with that for quite a while now, but I approached
I
it with
mean, he
like,
never
okay, I'll
lived.
read it
He
anyway.
died and came back. He's basically a
There
zombie
you go.
now.
Okay, true, true.
You know,
But then in
he
reading
did
this,
comic book die. Air
I'm with
quotes.
yes, I'm with you on this. I was really impressed by that first issue last month and thought this is actually really good. It had me leading towards one way and then totally redeemed itself. Um, and yeah, I just think I don't know. I'm with you. It does take me back to that time. There's something with the page where he goes Alyosha's and he goes full Batman, just kicking ass, coming towards
Mhm.
you. That it feels very of the time comics to me, and I really like that. And then I mean, he's got some good ears on the cowl too.
It's the background that really does it for me. The color of
Yeah,
the background.
yeah, exactly. And then I mean, Copperhead, he's right on the cover of this issue, but that's a pretty good fight inclusion. And then it doesn't stray from like the effects of Jason Todd, which I think is welcomed. Like it's just overall written really well, and then the art feels a little. I think I said last month too, of almost like a little dirty, just like Batman comics were, like Gotham was at that time too. It was drawn really
Mhm.
well, like a little grungy, a little dirty. And so overall, I mean, this is only going to be 4 issues, and 2 issues in, it's like it's great stuff. I don't know how they could shit the bed on this in the next two. And then Dan
Yeah.
Mora's got a fabulous uh variant cover of Batman and Robin that was also shown at like the end, and it's like, "Ah, Dan Mora, you
Yeah.
brilliant son of a bitch."
I really like that Batman Nightwing page when they're like
Mm.
when he's like patching up Grayson.
Oh yeah,
It's
that was a
very
good moment.
effective.
Like that was a good moment too. And then it's like Batman storms off because he heard an answer that he didn't want to hear, I think. It's like, oh, huh, all right. Um,
Which is the Batman of that time. It's very accurate.
and I think, and I don't want to say here just in case anybody hasn't read it yet, but I do like where you're led with this conversation between the Doctor and Joker and where it
Yeah.
goes. Like that's that was
I
like
think
that was
everything
nice.
involving the Joker in this book has been these two books have been pretty impressive.
Yeah. Good stuff from the vault. Death in the Family, Robin Lives. So far, highly recommended from both of us. Also that Tuesday, Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, #3. Correction, Justice League by Gaslight, #3.
Man,
The
yeah.
Kryptonian Age.
This is DC by Gaslight at this point.
Yeah, so I'll start. This was let me get to the writer and artist. Um, I still I can't I was able to shake it a little bit more this week. I said last month of I think the idea behind this bugs me more than the story, and therefore am I not giving the story a fair shake because I'm kind of
Mhm.
just distracted of what it is. And what it is hijacking Batman Gotham by Gaslight and telling a DC story. Like full stop, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Written by Andy Diggle with art by Leandro Fernandez. Now, getting that gripe out of the way, I think it's an interesting story. It's kind of going a little the doom that came to Gotham of like these
Okay.
big monsters, seeping up out of the ground that Wonder Woman's fighting. Wonder Woman's the star of this issue, flat out. You get a little history of, Themyscira what Matches Malone's doing, reuniting with Catwoman, but that's just very brief. And they're in search of the Green Lantern ring, which I really actually like that scene in that setting because it just feels kind of cool of like the old times on the train going out like out west. There's like a fun atmosphere and everything, and I am a little intrigued by that because the League of Assassins are after it or after the ring, and that part was fun to me. The monsters and seeing the future, and it's these demons, Scartaris under like deep inside the earth and stuff is like I don't know. We'll see, but it's still not like I wouldn't say that it's bad or I wasn't invested. I was a little bit more interested reading all that than I thought I would be, but it's going a little like I don't know. Like by issue 12, I don't know.
I think this is the best one they've had yet, to be
Of these
honest.
three, okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm with you. They totally hijacked Batman to sell this book because I don't think they thought anyone was going to read Gaslight Justice League.
Hmm.
But to be honest, like it just kind of this got really good. I was really into the Batman stuff. The Green Lantern stuff was really interesting. Um, and then the tease at the end was fascinating. I'm always that character's popped up a lot lately. I don't want to ruin it, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think look, I'm not a team up guy, and I'm not buying this for a reason, and the team up aspect's definitely part of it. But yeah, this is if you bought the I can't this is a good book. It's just at some point I got to not buy a book, right? This is more
Yeah.
team up plus budget type deal because I think it's a good story. I think it's well written. At least this issue is. The first two I felt were underwhelming, but I thought this issue was really impressive. So yeah,
All right.
we'll see where it
So I'm just
goes.
like a bit of a cautious recommendation from me, a higher recommendation for you, but you're not like, go get this book right now. It's the greatest book
No,
of
there's
all
definitely
time.
other books I think are better,
Yeah.
but this is no by no means bad. At least at this
It's
point, like who knows what issue four holds.
yeah, I mean I'm still on the point of like I will read the next issue. Whereas, there have been some cough off world where I read the one and that was rough. And I started this next one. I'm like, I'm done. I think I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. So it still at
no,
least has me interested of what's coming
Justin will
next.
buy that one for you.
Yeah, okay. Appreciate it.
Kowalski.
Yeah. Now speaking of Peter, the next one that Wednesday, Batman and Robin number 12. You've been a fan
Oh
of this
yeah,
book all along. Let's
this
see,
is this
Josh
is a Kowalski book.
Williamson and let's see. Oh man. Joshua Williamson, Juan Ferreira
Herrera.
on the art.
I say
Uh,
Ferrera.
okay. You can start this.
Um,
Williamson's penultimate Batman and Robin issue. He's done
this
next month with 13.
Yep, this is fantastic. It's insane. I mean, I know Batman fighting Dinosaur Island is kind of crazy, but it involves Bane and involves Vengeance, who might be as hot of a broad as Oswaldo. Let's be honest. You get the two of those together and some vodka, and you got yourself one hell of an evening. Um,
You
so
do, but don't
that's
say the
really
wrong
good.
thing because something could happen that could ruin you for
Yeah,
the rest of your life.
you should
Anyways,
just be careful what you say.
yeah.
Um, yeah, this book is so much fun. I'm really into it. It really kind of ties in everything Williamson's been doing. Batman and Robin, Lazarus Island, even really good Alfred stuff. This is some of the best Damien stuff you're gonna get. And then the ending is definitely very comic booky, but I think Williamson's really gonna pull it off. But this is highly recommended. I love it. I know Javi doesn't like it, but he can read detective. Just put it that way.
Uh, I'm with you on all of it. Like I told you, I think earlier this week of like leave it to. I've been reading, Batman and Robin, but I haven't read the massive Damien story that Williamson's been writing. I haven't been reading all of that. And leave it to his final arc, Williamson's final arc on all of this for me to be like, oh man, I'm digging the hell out of this. Like this
It's been
is
good, man.
this is like a lot of fun. I love so Ferreira also is the colorist on this and last issue as well. I love the coloring. I love the art in this arc on Dinosaur Island. Robin rides a freaking dinosaur in this Dinosaur Island. Didn't necessarily bother me. It was just like, I don't know. I was in on last issue and it's just really fun.
Yeah.
Like I just have a blast with this. And then you tie into the great, you know, red, black, and gray flashbacks of Damien's basically timelines of, you know, before City of Bane, and it's him with Alfred, the Rebirth era. I think him and like it's really it goes back to these really
It's good stuff. It's really
good
good stuff.
moments between Damien and
Damien's
Alfred.
become very likable within like what the last like 5 years.
I won't go that far, but I did not hate him. That's like as good of a compliment as I'll give is I didn't hate Damien. But then there's the RIP flashback, and I'm trying to think if like, yeah, Batman and Son. Yeah. And they're just really good Alfred moments because, you know, bring Alfred back for frick's sake. That the issue overall is just written really well. And then I do love the test when it comes down to the showdown between him and Bane. And even like there's a sword that's starting to cut into certain spots. I'm like, oh, that's a little gnarly. You
Yeah.
know?
What do you think of Vengeance? Huh?
I mean,
Yeah, buddy.
not not my
Woo!
not my style, but okay. What they do, what you said what they do at the end, yeah, it does go comic booky, but I'm also, yeah, I'm all for it. Let me see this showdown next issue.
Yeah.
And there's a really good variant cover last month and this month. I think it's the Vasco Georgiev, I don't know, version. They're the 125, so those are the really expensive ones. And I'm like, oh, but these two covers are freaking cool as hell. And like this one
Okay.
is like that one's just kind of
Okay.
fun. Dinosaur
I'm glad.
Island.
Okay. It's not really my jam, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
But you know I like dinosaurs. So, and then I think it's Matteo Scalera did a great variant cover of a throwback Batman issue that
Yeah, that
we
looked
all
good.
know.
I like that
Yeah.
one. That's a nice little one right there.
So, all
The
right, there you go.
Batman, yeah.
Batman and Robin, number 12. Next
It's
month,
great.
the end
Enjoying it.
of the Williamson
But
run. And then I'm just curious
wonder,
what's going.
really excited for the end,
Mhm.
but also kind of nervous for what's coming because I mentioned it to you yesterday. It's been 2 years I've been dealing with this detective boa.
Yeah.
Oh man, if Batman and Robin takes a dive, I'm like, I've been praising this book for
I
over a
was gonna
year
say
now.
you're about this one, and
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. I think they announced, or Williamson at least mentioned who's taking over when he leaves, but I
they
totally
did, but I
forget.
forgot who it was.
Yeah. Okay, following Wednesday, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue number 30, The Trinity's First Adventure, revealed.
Dude,
Written by Mark Waid, art by Gleb Melnikov. Who started the last
sure.
one? I did.
I don't.
You did. I don't know. Go ahead. You can start.
Dude, this
Dude,
book was awesome. This thing's so much fun. Batman, Robin, Superman, and Themyscira for the first time. Batman trying to solve a murder. Like it's just like is being regarded as the world's best detective. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It's the early days, so Hippolyta is very cautious, and you know the only things that can happen on Themyscira do, and it's really cool to see Batman a little bit out of his element because at one point, like he just goes, I can't solve this crime. There's no crime to solve. Like, wait, what? What's going on? So it's kind of a cool little Shutter Islandy type, if you want to go there.
hmm
I had so much fun with it. I really enjoyed this book a lot. This is just man, World's Finest post that first arc has been really good, and this is what a new storyline. Is this the first new storyline post David? Like, because I feel like this is just come. This is a start of something. I can't remember. I forget how David ended. Not how, but when David ended. I really
Man,
like
what
that
was
story.
issue 29?
Right?
Was
Like, was
that
there something in between? I can't remember. Or has he been doing these kind of like one-offy things? Regardless, but this is just brilliant.
yeah, Impossible wrapped up last month. Okay. Seems so long ago.
It does, doesn't it? I was like, was there something
So
in
yeah,
between?
first so I was under uh see so that I thought that there was a bit of a
Oh,
they
wow.
say on the front cover of like their first adventure, but yet on like page one, Batman even says her name is Wonder Woman. Superman and I met her briefly a while back, and then the note is Wonder Woman Annual number 1. And I'm like, So then this isn't their first adventure, is it? If they've already had an adventure and met? Small, like it's
I
not
mean, comic book
peanuts, who
covers a lot
cares?
all the
But
time.
sure. I do love they constantly lean into of like Batman's Batwing in this book is the 89 Batwing. Love
Yeah,
it.
it's great.
Love it. Wonderful. Um, I thought this issue was fun. It does dip a little, into unrealistic, but also they're on Themyscira with it. So also, Themyscira is unrealistic. Some people's fantasy, perhaps, but it's not real. So
Mhm.
then it gives it the stage to do some of the things that happen in this issue, and it is kind of fun. Had a good time with it. The art, it's not Mora, but that doesn't really matter. It fits, it looks good. And I think it's
It's
kind of
like
just it's
kind of
contained
more
to just
esque.
this. Yeah, exactly. It's not far from what we've seen a lot of in this book.
Hmm.
And it's contained to just, I think it's got an ending. So this is a total, like, I could flat out recommend this to people that aren't reading this title and just be like, hey, this is one issue, has, beginning and end, all in one issue. Read it. It's fun. This is kind of the vibe of this book, you know? And there's
And
been better
Robin kicks in.
story arcs. There's been, I wouldn't necessarily say worse, but like not as good. So this is like, I don't know, this would be a good one to just throw out of, you know, a taste tester, an appetizer, a sample. There we go. And what did you just say about Robin?
He kicks ass in this book. He's
He
awesome.
does. Yeah, he's
He's
good stuff.
incredible.
It's Dick
Grayson's
Grayson.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dick Grayson Robin. My favorite. More about him as Nightwing here in a little bit,
Suck
but
it,
let's
Hoss.
let's move into that was the only Batman book that week. So now we're in the last Wednesday of the month. Pete, the moment you've been waiting for, Detective Comics 1088. Good old Rom V's second to last issue on this book. And Gilliam March is on the art on this one. Pete, take it away.
I
Like
I have no words really.
that's all he's got.
I don't know what this is. Like it's just I don't Batman versus I don't know a vagina mouth alien that has predator that wants to look like a predator. Like I have no idea what this looks like. I don't know what any of this is. I compared it to Joker's daughters. In my review, I compared Joker's daughter's monologue to Leto's at the end of the Schneider cut. So that's how much I think of this thing. Yeah, I don't. This stupid bat logo is horrible. Just this is not good at all. I'm sorry. This is just miserable trash. I don't know what's going on. Uh, I don't know what happened to Six-Eyed Sally, really. She just, I don't know, turned into a particle. I have no idea. This is the worst thing I've ever read in a
Woo,
long time. So
woo.
I don't know. I like V, but this sucks. Like, I'm sorry. I can't even really talk about it because it's just like it's just like art, random art. That's all it is. It's just random art and then a bunch of gibberish. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm not gonna add anything other than I did not like it. I feel like it's just a mess. And anyone who's reading this detective run and enjoying it, good for you. I tried for
You
a
just
long
have bad
time.
taste, in my opinion.
I I can't get behind it, and I think it's a mess. It's flat out a mess. And then what happens at the very end, I told Pete it I did laugh because I'm like, WTF. What in the hell? And
Like, did he just watch Stranger Things?
I just
Like, I
don't
don't
know
know.
what the frick is. I don't know. So I don't need to beat a dead horse. I haven't been a fan of this for a while. I'm still not. I really look forward to Tom
One
Taylor
more
and
month.
Mikkel
One more
Janin
month.
starting in October to start
Yanin?
something new on this book. So, done with that. Also, that Wednesday, Batman Dark Age #5. Still, I feel like I am one who's a bit on an island here. I know that it does have fans. People are reading this, but I don't come across very much conversation of it. I do enjoy this book. I like the art. Written by, I should say, Mark Russell with art by Michael Allred and Lauren Allred. Or Lauren. Oh, I'll correct it. Yeah, this is, I don't know, it continues this going through this timeline, and this is the second to the last issue. I like just kind of hitting some of these beats with some changes. Batman goes into the Iceberg Lounge where, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman are all just chilling. Makes you think very 60s series, but he attacks
Mhm.
Ra's al Ghul. There's some good action there. This also has the 89 Batwing in it, which is cool. Robin's suit has been adjusted and is a lot better than when he debuted last month. I like this book. This is gonna be a collected edition purchase from me.
I enjoyed this issue. I thought it was good. I liked the Batman story. I liked the progression of it. I liked Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. The Batman stuff within the Justice League I found very interesting.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Like you mentioned Ra's al Ghul. The only thing that really bugged me was that Robin had a bat cowl. I know the art's kind of its own thing and it takes its liberties, but I thought that was weird. I was like, he couldn't just have a helmet
Oh, at
if
the
he had that
beginning.
wing. Yeah, when they're in the fire, it
Yeah.
looked like they have specific suits for this, and
He, he
he's
looks
wearing a
just like
cowl.
he's trying to be a mini Batman. And yeah, I
Yeah,
was like, oh, I hope this
w-
isn't the whole deal. And then it was done pretty quick. I'm like, okay, good.
yeah, it
I'm
was.
with you. I didn't
Yeah,
like that.
and I enjoyed Batman's new suit. Like, I don't think he had this all black suit the last time we saw him, did we? In
Mm-mm.
this book,
He was
I feel like
blending
this is new.
the gray and black
Yeah,
deal. And
this
here
one
I'm
looks.
just I really I
I
think
like this one.
comments that I saw early on, like negative comments toward it, was they did not like the old man Wayne, old man Bruce reflecting on his past. That just did not bother me in any way whatsoever. It was a storytelling device, and it
Mhm.
totally worked for me, of like he's reflecting on his previous, like on his life and all that he's been through, and it's just slowly being unveiled and revealed, and I just really, I don't know, I'm a fan. I really dig this.
I
And the
I
Martha stuff they leaned into, which I liked. They leaned into
yeah.
stuff that's kind of been introduced, but not in a way that I thought was disrespectful of the character. Still
No,
not my preference of
right.
like Martha Wayne, but this is like, okay, I can go with this because it's not being hypocritical to the story. It's not being an outlier to the story. So
I like what they did with Barbara. I like what they did with
yes,
Barbara and Grayson. I thought that was cool at the end.
yeah.
Um, so I didn't hate Old Man Bruce in this book either. Like I think this is the best issue of the bunch,
So
to be
far,
honest.
okay.
Yeah. Like I think this is a pretty solid Batman comic.
I won't full on agree, but I won't disagree. I would wait until I reread all because I've only read each issue once. So when it's all collected, I'll go back and I'll read it all.
Mm.
But this was a bit of a standout. I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff happening in this one.
Like I didn't like Riddler's design, but
I don't
like
really either.
because Penguin's design is different too,
Hmm.
in a way, and that didn't bother me. But again, like I know these guys, Allred's taking his liberties,
Yeah,
but he still acts like the Riddler, even though
exactly.
he, I don't know, looks like Disco Inferno
Did
from WCW.
did you just solve the riddle that was in the blimp
No,
or
did
pick up?
you?
I didn't either, and it bugs the hell out of me. And we weren't given the answer right away either. And I don't like I hate when we don't get answers for riddles from Riddler, because then I feel like a freaking dummy, because I feel like, oh, they just figured you'll be able to solve this, and I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, I'm an idiot, but I suck at riddles too.
but
Let's
yeah,
see.
no, I
What
enjoyed it.
is what is like being alive but still not dead, not awake but not asleep in bed? And then it's like on the
Um,
page, it's two like of the false face goons that are like, "What do you think it is?" And the other guy's like, "I don't know. What is it?" And then Riddler shows up and he's like, "Getting your ass knocked out by the Riddler." And I'm like, I don't feel like that's the answer. So I don't know. I'm a dummy.
there you
You
go.
big dummy. There you go. Dark Age #5. Pretty good. Next month it all wraps up. This will be the quickest discussion yet. Batman, the Brave and the Bold, #16. Batman and the Question are on the cover of this, Pete.
Mhm.
What's in this book?
Dead Man and Nightwing.
Yep.
That's it. That's all I read. I pulled a
Question.
Lauer here. I was like, I'm not reading this stuff.
I saw it in the credits of the stories and then the teams working on them. There's one called "It's Our Anniversary," written by Stephanie Williams, and I was like, oh, okay, that might be. Oh, no, never mind. I got that confused with Stephanie Phillips. Um, yeah, there's no Batman in this. The
There you go.
Batman's on the cover, and that's it.
That's
So
it. That's all
kind of
we're here to see.
misleading. Kind of misleading. But okay, save yourself, $4 or $5, however much this one costs. 6, 7. I can keep going.
Go read some Uxas books.
Hey, there you go. Spread
Uxas.
some Uxas love.
Uxas.
Uxas. Pete, it's time for one of your favorite segments now that only happens once a month. Batman and Friends.
Why do you hate Batman and Friends?
You do?
No, why do you hate Batman?
Oh, I don't. I came up with it.
You did, but you don't read the Batman and Friends books.
There's always at least one book that I choose in Batman and Friends each month.
I think you're doing a disservice to your audience here, Brian Lauer.
Pete's just making shit up.
Holzman.
Not really a book club if you're reading.
So here we go.
Books.
I have Nightwing number 117, which is Fallen Grayson, part 4 of 5, which also means it's a big month next month, Pete, that Tom Taylor's final issue on Nightwing is next month.
Oh, no.
So you got Williamson ending. You've got Taylor ending on Nightwing. You've got Rom V ending on Detective. You've got Dark Age, Mark Russell's team ending. There's a lot ending, but there's also a beginning because the last Halloween issue number 1 comes out. So, yeah, here we go. So Nightwing 117, we were teased at the end of last issue that Nightwing is still operating in Bloodhaven, but Dick Grayson's not there. What does it mean? It means old Bruce Wayne's come to town and taking up the role of the script. That's right. And then what'd you comment? Nightwing 2. Yes, I was gonna say that was your comment, and then you did if you know, you know. This was a good issue, written by Taylor, as I said, with art by Bruno Redondo. I thought this was this is another good issue. I'm not a Dead Man hate or anything. He's fun. I don't seek out just because he's in a book, but when he appears, it's kind of like, oh, that's cool. And he works really well with Grayson as he's doing his
You hate Dead Man.
Nightwing Returns. Nightwing Returns story is basically what this issue is, and I really like it. Really like it. It's good stuff.
I think this is actually the better Nightwing Dead Man story this month, to be honest with you. This book's really cool. I really like how it fills in gaps. It takes the Tony Zuko stuff to the next level, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Kind of updated, and Taylor's been kind of controversial in the sense that, the Grayson's sister is Zuko's stepdaughter. There's all that going on. There's kind of the the combination of that family there, which kind of rubs some people the wrong way. But I thought it was made for very interesting storytelling. The whole Grayson being afraid to fall was kind of fascinating. It was way more interesting than anything that Rick Grayson ever did. So if you're just kind of like want to talk about mind-bending Nightwing stories, really overall just solid, really solid. This is going to go up there as one of the better Nightwing runs. I mean, I definitely think people overhyped the hell out of it at certain points, as they do about everything, and especially considering I don't think they actually read the book anymore, certain individuals. So yeah, but this has been very good. I've enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah. Pirate, Nightwing, Titans, Beast World tie-in stuff was not my jam, but I think I read all the other stuff, and yeah, it was good. It was
the pirate stuff
consistent.
Was definitely a low point.
Yeah, I didn't even finish it. So, good issue. We'll see how it wraps up next month. Pete, what else? What do you have?
Just before we are up on Nightwing, I do think the Beast stuff, like it just didn't really tie into Nightwing as much. Maybe there was a tie-in issue at some point, but it wasn't like more. Yeah, I don't think there was more than one. Like they went and they got their own book, and they were pretty much well established themselves, and then they had their own little mini run and whatever. But yeah, Gotham City Sirens, 4 issues. I believe it came out 4 issues, 1 a week.
Oh, wow.
This was great. I tried to get Ryan to read it, but he hates women, so he won't do that. But it's been fantastic. Punchline is back, and
You've got a thing for
it's
Punchline.
street level.
You
I
always
love
have.
Punchline. I think she's great. You know, Kowalski doesn't like her, but then again, he doesn't read any more comic books. Um, so that he's got that going for him. But she's great. It's kind of like I was just kind of like, oh, this is kind of realistic. It's about like kind of being addicted, like the chemicals they put in food and like kind of getting you addicted to it, well, and kind of like taking that to the next level. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's kind of relatable. People worry about that. Like I see that on Instagram all the time. Like, you know, GMOs. I was like, this is obviously to the level of like say the Joker and Punchline, but it was
Yeah.
great. Selena, Catwoman, Harley were great interacting together. It's definitely a bonkers story, you know. But I had so much fun with it. I was glad they were back at least for 4 issues. Hopefully this thing sold well and it goes it gets picked up. Maybe we get another volume, but I believe Terry Dodson did the covers, and it was just a pleasure to see him get his hands on Harley and the Sirens once again.
So how do you get all in on something like this? Was it just on your radar and you're like, I'll just give it a shot, and you just try the first issue and then you go back and you're like, go each week, or do you wait till the end and just buy all four and not knowing, or
I was very skeptical about this.
okay.
So I read the first issue with the BOF privileges that we have, and
Yeah.
it was really good. So I was like, all right, I'm going to buy this. I bought it, and then I just kept going, and it just didn't
Cool.
disappoint.
All right, good. There you
But
go.
yeah, no,
BOF perks.
this was great. Yeah, so that worked out, and again, I went out and I bought it. I didn't just read it and not buy it. I liked it
Yeah,
enough to support. I want to support it because I know it's a mini series, but it was
sure.
really fantastic.
Cool. Is that it for your Batman and Friends?
That is it for my Batman and Friends.
All right. Well, Pete, let me go ahead now as we near the end and ask you a couple
I did talk
questions.
about absolute power earlier in the show, so there we go.
You did. That's true. Okay.
That's true.
Yes, you've got a question?
Number one, Pete, what is your favorite issue this month?
Ooh, favorite issue.
Ooh,
That's tough.
ooh. Can't be detective because it won't be
Yeah,
detective.
it won't be. Hasn't been in 2 years. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Batman and Robin.
Ooh, nice. Okay. That's in contention for me. Dark Age number 5 is in contention, but I think I gotta go with Death in the Family, Robin Lives number 2.
Oh,
Uh
nice. I didn't
keeps the
expect that.
momentum going from last month, and I just think it's great. The other two also really, really good, but this one, gotta pick one. I think it's this one.
Yeah, that's a good one. I can't argue with that.
Next month a lot of stuff comes to an end, but for us something comes to an end this month. You remember the old Mitch Reisler email of like, hey, here's 9 questions and we've been answering one a month.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
last one is right now, but I'm going to put a pin in it because I think this one I didn't tip you off and it takes homework.
Oh,
And
well,
2,
so
I think it
slacker.
kind of it merits
Way to
its
go, man.
own. It just more so it merits its own discussion. His last question was, "What are your top 5 standalone issues?" Just one issue.
That's
That
almost
takes homework.
impossible.
That takes homework. Because especially standalone. So I think you're also going since the 2000s. That gets even trickier because everything's part of a big arc. So yeah, it's just gonna take some homework, but I just think like Mitch, thanks. That's a good episode idea. So I
Yeah,
think maybe 2025 that'll be one that we can
it's like a round
do.
table discussion.
Yeah. I think that'd be fun. It'd be fun to go and dip through, hundreds of Batman solo issues. There's one.
It's Justice League International with Batman punch Guy
Yeah.
Gardner. But like, no, Justice, it doesn't matter. That's the greatest Batman
Disney
issue
best.
of all time.
Batman in space.
Yes.
I know that there's one issue for sure that's gonna probably hold on. Can't say no and then probably. I know my top 5. There's one issue that, snap of a finger, I knew. Oh, that one. Good odds that it would also make your top 5, but I won't mention it here.
Maybe I have to go look at our text thread and be like,
Yeah.
I'm calling this book because I've definitely been like, it's a singular issue and I thought it was fantastic. I'll just have to reread our text over the last 7 years.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll take you about 20 minutes. That does it for this month's Batman discussion. So, Pete, thanks for doing the work. Thanks for coming
You're
on.
damn
and
right I
talking.
do the work.
He
I'm
does
not
do
some
the work.
fraud. You're right. I do.
Yeah, I am right. I've said it twice now.
You're
Pete's
damn
done
right
the
you're
work.
right.
There's 3
Yeah,
times. Goodness,
that's
right.
right. One more time for good luck, because I don't like odd numbers.
Pete does the work.
Damn right I do.
All right, why don't you go ahead and plug away?
Praise me. Socially at Pete Illustrated, Twitter, X, Instagram, with Holzman at straight_O_G straight out of Gotham. Spider-Man and Friends at Spidey Coalition, Italian Spider-Man Coalition, Batman-on-film.com. I don't know why he has the dashes. I've been saying it for years. I'm never going to stop saying it, but I'm all over there. And I appear monthly on Brian Lauer's The Batman Book Club. So make sure you still continue to check that out.
All right. If you're listening to this and you're checking it out. So thanks.
Thanks, Peter. Yeah, goddamn right, Ryan.
As for Batman Book Club, check out on socials at the Batman BC for latest episode drops, upcoming episodes, sometimes some giveaways. I can say the rest of this year is already mapped out, and there's some really fun stuff coming, especially next month and in October. So make sure you follow on that. Subscribe to the Batman YouTube channel. Pete is right here to confirm that he and I have been talking about getting No Man's Land up and running, and we will be discussing and posting it on the YouTube channel.
And after that, we're going to get started on the Hulk Book Club.
So like I said, No Man's Land on the Batman Book Club YouTube channel, it's going to happen. We've been teasing it for like 9 months. Well, it's finally going to happen. If you want to support the show, there's a variety of ways you can do it. Patreon.com/thebatmanbc, tpublic.com, type in TBBC for the Batman Book Club. But if you want to support the show and you don't want to spend any money at all, it's 100% A-OK. Easiest, quickest, most impactful, and definitely the cheapest thing that you can do is rate and review the show. So wherever you listen to it on your podcast feed, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, just go to the rate and review page, rate and review the show, because the more reviews the show gets, the more it helps spread the word. And as we all know, that word is panic. So for Peter R. Verra, who's holding up the No Man's Land omnibus right now,
Still unopened.
still unopened. He's ready. Wait. Oh, never mind.
Ryan's going to
We're gonna
pop
dip
the
into it.
cherry.
Oh my goodness. Well, there you go. For Pete, I'm Ryan. Until next time, be my Batman guys.